Hey everybody, good morning. George, David, Michael, Beth, Al, Ted, Arturo, Maurizio. Good morning everybody. How's it going? Whew. Market keeps doing what it's doing. The pullback kind of getting started yesterday. It broke the immediate support that I was kind of watching for bullish continuation. That's the first signs that we may see the deeper pullback that I've been warning about for feels like forever, several weeks now. So keep it in mind that we may go lower over the next few trading sessions, maybe even a couple weeks. So I brought some stuff to talk about, and I need to open it up and pop this up really quickly so we can talk about it. So in the headline video, let's go ahead and throw me over here. In the headline video, I talked about the fact, in the title, description, whatever, we set a $2.23 trillion record on logistics in 2022, an astounding 20% increase. They say the inflation was just, 8%? Something like that. This is rocking it up. Looking like 20% inflation on logistics costs for 2022. You could say maybe some gouging, maybe, I don't know. Those costs come back to the consumer. The companies don't eat that cost. My brother works logistics for a large car parts manufacturing that supplies the five major auto producers, and they had some in 2020, 2021, they had unexpected costs for logistics, and they were passing it along, like wrapping it into the new contract that they were writing with auto companies. So you should have volume. I'm showing volume. So morning Francois, morning Jan, morning Valerie, morning Kevin, morning Pat, morning David, morning everybody. Should have audio. Anybody confirm? Confirm or deny? Morning Dan. If you want to chat with me, all you gotta do be a subscriber. All right, cool, Al. All you gotta do be a subscriber. Click the subscribe button. A few seconds later, you can chat. And while I'm live, if I'm not live anymore, you're watching this later in the day, all you got to do, leave me a comment. I will do the best I can to get back with you at some point with the comment. Or you can click in the description for like $5. You can come join me in Discord. So, all right, cool. Everybody's got me loud and clear. So if you got no volume, David, it's on you, my man. All right. Thanks, everybody, for jumping in. Valerie, morning. Ray, morning. Jason, lots of people here this morning. Love it. Love to see it. So this is not going away. Like, we're not going to suddenly not spend $2.3 trillion on logistics in 2023. So this is a big chunk of the cost increases that we've seen on everything. I mean, think about it. A company makes a widget. All the inputs for that widget, the transportation costs for that went up 20%. Now you gotta take your widget from the factory, and you gotta ship it to warehouses. Your wholesalers. The cost of that logistics went up 20%, and now getting that from the warehouses out to the stores, or the further down distribution center, that all went up 20%. So you could say it's a 20% just one time, but I think it's a compounded. It's probably 20% probably added up in a way that compounded the inflation, if you will. So, got a logistics watch list. You know what? We talk about different logistics stuff all the time, and FedEx. We're about to talk about FedEx here in a minute. That's a big one. UPS, another big one, and You got CSX, rail. So there's different, you've got air, you've got motor, you've got freight forwarding, you've got rail, you've got warehousing. These are all parts of, and then the last mile stuff. So even I'm sure the USPS is getting hammered because they, lock in their rates. So we'll talk about how FDX, FedEx just reported their earnings. So there you go, right there. If you want this link to this right here, I'll throw it in the chat real quick. Michael, hey, morning. There you go. There's the article. You can go check it out. Maybe right-click that and open a new tab so you can go look at it later. But interestingly enough, though, like I talked about last week, I think it was, cardboard demand has plummeted. So that's interesting too. And, the cardboard demand wasn't plummeting this year. It's plummeting last year. So interesting stuff, if you will. And then, we put the decimal point in the wrong place. Accounting error, $6 billion more for Ukraine. It's, seems like we care more about funding a war in Eastern Europe than we do about fixing problems here. And I guess whatever. This is the Washington machine right here. Like, they need wars to keep generating money. This is Washington is basically controlled by the Defense Department. You can say whatever you want to. Defense contractors control Washington. I'm pretty sure, like, based on the money flow. And we need the perpetual wars to keep it going. So, we ended Afghanistan. What do? We started up Ukraine, like, almost instantaneously. So we needed someplace to pour billions and trillions of dollars to keep the machine going. And yeah, hey, we found $6 billion. Let's go more. Let's give them more stuff. And they've got some ungodly millions of dollars flowing every second over to Ukraine. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. And who pays for it? Well, us here in the United States. Anyway, how's that going to play in the big picture? Well, it's going to help be the unraveling of the dollar, this whole perpetual Ukraine thing. But before we actually talk about trades or whatever might be moving today, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss, past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation here intended to be informational, educational, and fun. I hope you have fun. Otherwise, what's the point of any of this stuff? So it's not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument or anything else that you might buy or sell. Like, don't buy my $5 thing in Discord. Like, don't. It's not necessary. You can just come talk to me here. And if you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor that has a fiduciary duty to help you make decisions based on your financial situation. Your mouse, your trade. You click the buttons, ultimately. Not me. And as far as buying other stuff, most gurus are full of crap. They don't even trade. I've been made acutely aware of this. Even friends of mine that helped me get started don't actually even trade the stuff they talk about. They trade other stuff. Some of them don't trade anything. Some of them just keep their money in a fund. It's ridiculous. I really don't understand. How can you be in this industry trying to help people learn how to trade, and you don't even freaking trade with your own money? You don't even do the trades you throw out there. Like, that's dishonest, and that's not what I'm about. Any trade I talk about, I'll tell you if I got money on it or not. So all you gotta do is ask. Anytime, I'll be transparent on. I may not show you my entire family portfolio, but I try to do my best to help you all. So, well, Beth, but not everybody knows. Not everybody knows. I got lots of new people here, and I'm glad to have you. If you're brand new, give me a shout out in the chat. If you're brand new, I'd love to welcome you. And make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell with the notifications so you get notified every morning when I do this. If YouTube thinks I'll watch it, you'll watch it. So, all right. Yeah. Too, Suzanne. Cool. Jason. Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of, Jason, you may be surprised how many people I'm talking about. I've met a lot of people in the last 3 years. God, man, holy cow. It's been 3 years since I made the $1 million. I've met a lot of people in this industry in the last 3 years. Shockingly, a lot of them don't even trade. Shockingly. Anyway, so Wednesday, we've got Jerome Powell testifying in front of Congress. That can be a market mover. And tomorrow, we have unemployment claims and Powell testifying again, along with some existing home sales. So those are potential market moving events coming up here. The company that I am a contractor for, they have 12 gurus. I know of one that trades all the trades he puts out with real money. I haven't verified that either, but that's what he told me. So all the rest of them, I don't know. Varying degrees of don't actually take the trades. So, and then I've met lots of people outside of the company that I work for. So, BITO woke me up at 4 a.m. with that alert, busting higher. Let's go ahead and jump over to the market movers and talk about it. So S&P 500 pulling back off that 44.24 level. I see it as likely to continue. My bias for the day, not sure at the moment. We'll circle back to it here toward the end. But right now, S5FI just hanging out near the top, and NDFI maxed out at 80. That's a scary situation here. Usually, I mean, we could bounce along at the top for a little while here, but usually, I don't know where my log button went on here, but usually when we top out at 80, we tend to get a pullback back down in the low 20s. May not happen for a week or two, but eventually it kind of happens here. So we're up here at 80, and somewhere down here between 40 and 20 is kind of the next spot I expect us to go revisit here. At least a return back to the 50, and that can take NASDAQ back down. So caution is advised. NASDAQ maxed it out. The S5FI, S&P not participating as much. It did get up here in the upper range. It can chop right around here, but it could pull back down into the low zone again. So please keep it in mind. ES continuing to roll over so far in the pre-market or post-market, pre-market, whatever. We did kind of bounce off the zone there yesterday. That may have been the first attempt, and we may see it crush on down. This is the next support area down here between 4,300 and about 4,260. We do have a missed monthly pivot down here around 4,160, and that kind of corresponds with the roadmap line if we drop on down and retest that. We haven't been there since back here in March. Got close here in May. Close sometimes counts. I mean, usually it counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, atomic bombs, sometimes in the market. But be careful. We'll probably come down, retest that market roadmap line. And if you want the $5 thing in the description is the roadmap line and a watch list every week. So if you want that, it's there. If you don't want to pay for it, like I said, you don't have to pay for things. I did a video back in, I think it was right around New Year's in the live stream. It's got a picture of me going, my favorite indicator. Click on that video. I'll give you the code for the market roadmap line. So right there in the video, and I teach you kind of how to use it. So, alrighty. NASDAQ. If you're not familiar, ES is the S&P 500 futures. Why the futures? Because they trade all night. Look at this. If we jump down to the 15-minute, we've got all night candles. If we go to the S&P 500, we stopped at the close. We don't have any data. Like there's nothing after 4 o'clock yesterday. So why do I watch the futures? Because we can see this plummeting right here. And we can see all the overnight action, all the churn. So we're coming back down into the zone where we found support yesterday. We start breaking below that. Probably heading on down. There's the picture. This was 10 a.m. yesterday. Rallied back up, found resistance and potentially going to drop on out now. Be careful. Be careful, be careful. NASDAQ also continuing to drop out. So you wonder how to trade ES? I mean, SPX, SPY, XSP, all the SPXS, SPXL, you got tons of ways. Now, NASDAQ, excuse me, that's QQQ, my great monster talking back to me this morning. So, yeah, watch list window log is hidden. I don't know. I mean, it used to be right there on the button. It beats me. I mean, even if I collapse that, still doesn't have log. So, I don't know. Anyway, it looks different on the other desktop I have up. So, looks like this is in Q. So QQQ, SQQQ, TQQQ, all those all the NASDAQ related stuff. I mean, there's a ton of different tickers that are involved. So now be careful. All right, SQQQ may start paying out here, and SPXS may pay out on the S&P dropping. Those are leveraged instruments, and I'm talking about SPXL or SPXS. So this is a leveraged instrument. You got to be careful. Leveraged are dangerous. All right. Same with stuff like SVXY. I mean, that's another leveraged instrument. You got to be careful on this stuff. All right. Yeah, when you tap on auto, it just does that. You have to click on this little. It doesn't even look like a gear. So it's right there, logarithmic. So probably just needs to be reset, reloaded. Now I've got an update button on my browser up here, so I probably need to update that. I don't know. Russell also showing. We tried to poke below this resistance box yesterday. Zoom back out to the daily really quickly, and so we tried to poke out of the bottom of this box yesterday. Held up, but today we may fall out of bed and return to the roadmap line right here at the minimum. If we can't hold that, we're going to come down here, test this box. If we bounce off of here, that's a measured bounce setup, and the target would be up here around 2,000 on Russell. And if we don't hold support, we start crushing down, probably down here around 1650 is the target, if not on down lower. And this is small caps like IWM, if you're not familiar, and it's the Russell 2000 index. So small cap stuff. A lot of your regional banks are in here. That's why this fell out of bed back here in March. And this has not been rallying up. NASDAQ and the S&P, we've been retesting the August highs, kind of poking through especially on NASDAQ and just a little bit on S&P. We're way below that on Russell, way below that zone, and looking like we're going lower again. So what can you do to change what? Need to change it. Please be specific when you say it. So all right, oil. Yesterday we saw kind of this big spike down in oil and gold, and today getting a little bit of rally back. So if we can get above this orange box here, back above 72.50 or so, kind of tilts the odds back to going up to the 80, back to the breakout scenario. Although we have this high to contend with. This was the highest high, and this was the lowest low since we made this move back here in May, early May. Since we did that spike down in reverse, that little green hammer deal, green hammer doji, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, star, I don't know. They got all sorts of Japanese names, and I don't even, that's not something I really pay attention to. This was rejection on going lower. To me, that's support. So at this point, we've tested support again right here, rallying up. If we can break above this resistance, and then this resistance, and then probably find that ultimate target up there before we retrace back to the roadmap line. So I am still long oil, just kind of sitting and waiting. Gold looks like it's going to push down and touch that roadmap line. Sure does look like it. This reminds me a lot of what Bitcoin was doing for weeks. We just kind of went sideways, just shy of the roadmap line, and then we reached down, touched it, and now Bitcoin is launching. See what happens? You know, we kind of touched it, then we touched it again really good, and then launching out to the moon. The target's to the moon, but you know, it's really the target's like 32. That's my next target. We are getting above, if we can maintain this breakout above the 618 here today, move that over just to make sure, you know, right at the top of the box. Look at that, perfect. We maintain this close today. By the end of the day, 32 is almost a lock here, 32.8 even, and then 35 above that, which it was 34. Now with that little extension down, 35, and we could possibly see a rally up into this 41, 42 area. Less likely right now, but still possible. Still possible. That's like a head and shoulders pattern plays out right there at 42. This doesn't look like it, but that's a sloppy head and shoulders pattern right there. And if we break out above it, like that 42 plays out where the distance to the head to the neck and distance to the head, to the breakout and to the, yeah. All right. Ethereum, quite possibly going to do the same. Not the same targets, but 22.5 or 22.59-ish. Yeah. I guess 22.88 now. Yeah, right in that zone. That's the target. And you might be like, yeah, but I mean, how fast can it actually do that kind of move, right? Look at this right here. That was like 10 days. And look at that. Puts it way up there. So you want to think this might not work that fast? Well, look where we could be before the end of the month, right there. So, and we're seeing a bunch of crypto on the list today, so we'll talk about that here in just a minute, along with FedEx getting slammed. So dollar showing a little rally, and I mean, the classic correlation: dollar rallies, stock market drops. So that didn't play out over here though. That was dollar rallying and stock market rallying, and dollar dropping and stock market continuing to rally. And now we're dollar rallying and stock market dropping. So correlations work when they work, and they don't when they don't. So ASTS, Space Mobile. Potential to break out, but probably just going to retest this high for now. We get above that, then something else could happen. But the market is open. I've been blabbing too much. Market is open now. SPCE, yeah, coming up to the resistance there and retracing a bit. Announcing, you know, I guess they announced commercial service to begin. They lose tons of money. I mean, money is not cheap right now, and they lose tons of money. I don't know. Until they actually start flying people and making gazillions of money, they're probably in a sketchy place. Resistance right there, where we consolidated back here a year ago, March through July, and we broke down below resistance, made a lower low, resistance. That's a three-wave move. At this point, that indicates that we may go lower low. All right. And there's no correlation really between the dollar and oil. I mean, you could say there is, but it doesn't. There's no rule, and it's more like a coincidence. Now, Mara right here potentially going to break out above that level from back here in April. For my long held target was right around 14.15, and the extension is up here around 21, 20 to 30. That's been my long held target. I think we're going to at least see 15 on this pop, if not up here in the $20 to $30 range. Might be like, that's insane. I'm telling you, this thing has been wound up for a long time. Right there on the roadmap line. It failed to retrace deeper, and it quite possibly can pop. This is a skewed head and shoulders, but that head and shoulders pattern plays out like way the frick up there. Way up there. Let me draw it out here. Take this thing, throw it off like the breakout point there. Yeah. So that thing plays out at 40. It's not the best proportions. This shoulder, nothing like this shoulder. It's more like a shoulder, head. But if that played out, 40, that'd be pretty amazing since I control a lot of money's worth of tomorrow. Anyway, VCIG, I do have like about I have over $213,000 tied up in Mora, my family money. So VCIG, nothing. I mean, there's not enough candles here to determine anything the way I do it. So FDX get slammed and fast recovery. You know what? This might be bullish. My target, long held target up here. This little retrace may be what it needed to get moving. 618, that's a measured bounce. Quit moving stuff. Measured bounce, and let's see what this does. Oh yeah, target right there. Right in the zone. FedEx zone. Yeah, right there. There would be my expectation. My long held target was right there, so it jives. That might be could be an entry. Like a few bucks. Up to 250. $20 rally. Not too bad. EXAS. I mean, think about it. We spent 20% more on logistics. You think? I think FedEx is sandbagging. I think they're saying, "Oh, we're gonna let's set the expectations low. That way we can crush it." And that's probably what they're doing. EXAS. That's crazy talk right there. Way up past targets. No pullback. That thing's probably going to come back down at some point. It needs to at least do a consolidation again after that move. Outsized move. Fib-wise. Golly. Monster talking to me again. Zoom it out. Look. And we do have a little resistance coming in right where we are. We have a little more trouble getting up through that. You can see that's been a zone, like it topped out there. Found some support. Yikes. Found resistance. Found support. Resistance. Support. Not anymore. Might take a little work to get up through that on EXAS. Rivian. Let's see what we got here. We got that head and shoulders. And that may very well play out. I mean, that could be a smart play right there. Trading Rivian from 16 up to 20. I mean, these things don't have to make sense, but that is that's a point where we had resistance before, found support, and launch off back into the resistance, back into the roadmap line even. Not a bad play, but not where I'm putting my money. It's kind of a roll the dice play right there. WGO, Winnebago. It's just a sideways choppy mess. I mean, look, the range set back here, December, January, and we've just been trading inside. It's like a giant set of inside candles, probably on the monthly. And look, inside candle, inside candle, inside candle, inside candle, inside candle. All inside that range from January. Be careful. Doesn't have to do anything. And that just looks like a gnarly chart right there. So, PDCO. No idea what these guys do. Medical distribution. That's a potential breakout, but we got resistance right up here. Again, like trading inside the range. There's just nothing sparking my interest here. It's not a bullish chart. It's not a bearish chart. It's just a sideways chart. MSTR. That measured bounce may play out. 365, 392 on the upside. It's definitely in the resistance zone. If we can get above it today, watch out, baby. We are in the resistance. It's kind of showing a little resistance so far today. We start breaking out though above these prior highs right over here from May. We're just up for there in May, just last month. Break out above that, up there's the targets, 365, 392. ADBE continues to try to rally, but we're down from Friday's high still. Needs a retrace, or at least another one of these. We're kind of starting to work on that. So another consolidation before we can get more energy to pop. Spot grinding higher continually. Hardly a pullback. That's a grind right there. Look at that. Just grind. Right up to resistance. Potentially going to break out through those highs. And that could be kind of clear for... Oh, look at that head and shoulders right there. Played out. Resistance. Next resistance up there around 219. OCEA. Popping. It's a biomedical, biotech. Be careful. Biotechs don't always follow my patterns, but that looks like it may drop again. It looks exactly like it did that before. So watch out for that right there. Coin. Man, it's still below the roadmap line. Set a lower highs. Got to get above the roadmap line to go up to the target around 78. If we can break out above those highs from back in February and March, then the next target up is up here around 115. So BTVT is still on the path. Get the other T in the BTVT. There's the target. $5, $5.50. It's a beautiful. That was a measured bounce back here. I loaded up at $1. Might step off the train at $5.50. It was a beautiful pattern. It has a longer term, bigger pattern for 30, and then some ridiculous numbers. But I see it as likely to. That's gonna be certainly if it gets up to 660. It's going to be pretty played out. It's probably going to retrace back to the roadmap line, give you another opportunity to get back in at 2. So, cost is one of the most horrible charts I've seen lately. This looks corrective, which would indicate we may go down to this 350, 330, 350 area down here. And I think it's a fake breakout. Couldn't break resistance. Watch out for that thing to drop like a rock. I thought it might have broken down here, but nope, it continued to hover. Can't break out through the resistance from here or here. That may take it down. And why that distance? That's the distance back here, the first move, and then consolidate, and the last move. Looks like a fake breakout to me. Anyway, let's run through some more of the stuff here. PCT, Pure Cycle, Environmental Services. And just back up to resistance. It's been resistance for 2 years. AHI. Software. That could go. No idea what these guys do. Package software of some sort. Software is there's money rolling into software. That's one of the things. We get above this consolidation over here, and that can be go time. We'll find a resistance right there. We get above that. So up above $8. Game on potentially. LI looks like it's just a sideways consolidation. That's the zone right there. Anyway, ABR getting a little bit. It's been on a downtrend. I mean, it's got to break above this up here to go higher. And you don't have to be a dummy to know that real estate is sketch right now. So BITO right here, Bitcoin Futures ETF. Quit moving lines. Upside target 20. And the resistance is still right where we are. Right in this zone. So we got to get up through that, back above 17. Then likely to hit 20 on the upside. I mean, Bitcoin's chart looks really, really good right now. Oh, QURE. Broke this sideways and lower low. Ouch. I think I talked about that last night and said it looked marginal. Well, lower low. Extension, 815 right down there. That would be, oh, cool. Silver moving. What's silver doing? Oh, breaking down. Awesome. COHR. Where that arrow came from. That was cool. And it looks like it needs a retrace back to the roadmap line. Came off the highs. Stopped at the 1618. Retrace. All right. That looks like the list for the day. So my bias kind of down. Expecting this correction to accelerate, especially if we get below that support, the lows there from, or, out of the box. Zoom it up here so we can see the box. We get below this, 4,400. Watch out below. We can go on down. 4,300, 4,200, even 4,150. That's with the missed monthly pivot. So be careful. Thoughts on SLV? At this point, just got to wait. Making a lower low. I'll continue the conversation in Discord. So if you want to come talk to me, I'll be there all day. All night, probably. And have a great day. Remember, you count, you save, maybe your own. Be careful. We're probably going to get that pullback that I've been beating the drum about for weeks and weeks. Looks like it's going. It's happening, sweetheart. Just keep it in mind. We'll see you later. Bye for now. Have a great day, everybody. Oop. I'm not a biotech. That was goofy. Anyway. Bye for now.